up? We back. Oh, Mila's putting her 2 cents in. You know, she should really watch Backstage. I don't know why she don't. I don't know what's wrong with her. But I'm back with another Backstage because today is Thursday and they're doing it every day. And I do this every day. And I'm ready. I'm on time now, guys. Thanks. I'm not late. Anyway, but yeah. So, on this one, we got a familiar face coming back. It's like, ugh. I was like, okay. So I'm see that they're gonna be back probably regularly now. And then something really bad happened at the end, and I'm just like, this happened on the Fosters and it came back to bite them in the butt. So this is really bad. I don't know how they're gonna come from this, but let's start off with this review recap. So it started off with Jax. He was gonna make some plans, you know, with Miles. Then they see this limo coming up and he's like, I hope it fully is Diplo trying to teach us a class. But it wasn't. It was Aaliyah. She came up in the limo all styling on them. And then Jax was like, oh my god, your crush is back. So Miles was like, what makes you say that's my crush? And he was like, shut up and get in the car. So they went in there. Miles was not talking. He was just smiling like he had too many pieces of cake and he was on a sugar rush looking at Leah. And then Jax was asking all her questions. So she was going to tell him the deets all about her good tour that she'd been on, doing Broadway and this and that and all these plays. It was just so much she's doing. So, it's been 3 weeks, 4 days, 6 hours, and 10 minutes since Vanessa was on the sidelines and just taking notes, no dancing, no nothing. Sasha came to help her because she spilled all of her papers on the ground and she just couldn't do it anymore. She couldn't listen to the same rehearsals over and over and over again. It's a scout coming. Carly was teaching and it was just like, oh my gosh, she just couldn't do it because she won't be getting picked by the scout because the scout can't see her dance. And the scout is for Juilliard. So it's like, okay. Meanwhile, Julie was dancing, feeling free with her music, and Denzel was like, you should be practicing for the PSATs. And then he was like, or PSATs people like to call it. So it's like preliminary SATs. So she's like, this is a dance break. Scientists say that dancing relieves this, the stress and all this and that. So then Denzel was like, well, okay, show me what you're working on. So she started doing her thing. Then the dance scout, Francesco, saw her and he's like, is that Cassandra? And then Maria was like, I don't know who she is. Like, I don't know who she is. Like, how do the teachers know who the other kids are? I mean, I know they gotta focus on their category, but like, yeah, she don't know who she is. Anyway, but yeah, so she was like, well, can you dance for me? He was like, can you dance for me, girl? For the scout thing. So then she was like, oh, no, I can't. I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, she just blew him off. He named him, I think his name was Francesco Sheila, whatever. But yeah, she just blew him off. Blew him off. And I was like, okay, you missing out though, Julie. You missing out. Meanwhile, they was parked at a sidewalk, Jax and Aaliyah and Miles. And I'm like, okay, so Jax said he was becoming a sappy Sapperdine, and he really didn't want to do that because, you know, he got his heart broken, but that's how he is now. So, they was eating strawberries and stuff. Miles couldn't talk. He was just smiling very creepily. And then Aaliyah was like, well, it's really nice to see you. And he was like, you never returned my calls. You never did this and that. You never even sent a smoke signal. What's wrong with you? So, she's like, oh, I've been busy. I've been super, super busy. But then he was like, well, I'm glad you're back. But she's like, I'm not back. I'm just saying my proper goodbyes to everybody. Like, the only person she really got to say goodbye to was Jax, Leah, and Bianca. The only people she really knew. Yeah, those are the only people that she really got to say goodbye to. But she's going to London. They're taking stuff to London. They're taking it on tour. Oh my God, for next week. I'm like, she is balling. The kid is balling. She's doing very well. Meanwhile, Vanessa was eating fries with her milkshake, and Maria was like, oh, what's good? I caught you. And she just kept lying, said she could be out there, but she couldn't. She was supposed to be in class. So then Maria was like, well, when I got hurt, it was one of the darkest times of her life. She's like, and I didn't know what was going to happen. I don't know if I was going to come back from it. Vanessa was like, I don't know if I'm going to come back from it ever again. So she's like, come on, Vanessa, it's okay. What I did, I blogged about my injury. So she's like, you want me to blog about it? And she was like, no, I want you to put yourself into something else other than dance. But Vanessa was trying to tell her she ain't nothing but dance. Like, I don't know if these kids take regular classes. I mean, Julie do, but she's in the visual art programs. I don't know if the other kids take, like, regular classes. I mean, I guess they would, but she don't do nothing else but dance, she said. So then she ended up putting her in detention. I'm like, what? You're supposed to be a cool teacher. Like, why are you putting her in detention? Like she don't have enough to deal with. Like, whatever. Anyway. But the scout for Juilliard, Julie, she was like, I'm not a real dancer. And he's like, but, oh, you are. So she's like, look. Oh my God, I hear you talking about the scholarships because they have a summer program and you can go to July. But she's like, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Too much going on. No. I'm like, please stop telling him no. Like, please stop telling him no. Don't say that. Anyway, so Vanessa, she was watching other kids dance. It was these kids. They was grooving and stuff. Then she dropped her crutch. And then she looked up and everybody was freaking gone from the window. I'm like, Inception or something. I'm just like, how did that even happen? Like, she was just looking out. She went to pick up her crutch for 1 to 5 seconds or something. And then she just looked up and they all gone. Like, just freaking disappeared into thin air. Anyway, but Miles is salty because Jackson's like, oh, she going to Europe and all this and that. What's wrong with you? You need to, you feel, stop being bad, salty. You need to man up, do this and that. So he's like, okay, I'm going to do it. So then Jackson's like, trust me, it's going to work. Meanwhile, Julie was having a hard time with another ball in the air. Her hair looked really cute. And Maria was laughing at her, and she's like, does this seem funny to you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? So she's like, no, it's just funny how back in university when I was there, kids was paying other kids to do their SATs for them. And she's like, I'm not telling you to do that. So then she's like, how's that supposed to help me? And she's like, look, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You need to take it. It's Juilliard. Why would you go and tell an impressionable kid to go and pay for somebody to take the SATs for her, the PSATs? That's what happened to Brandon and the Fosters. And you see what happened? He wasn't able to get into Juilliard. Why did she do that? Did she not watch the Fosters? Did she not know that that's what happened to Brandon? Julie's trying to get into Juilliard. And doing that was not going to help her get into Juilliard because they didn't see. But anyway. So, Vanessa's like, Sasha, your hair looking good. And he's like, look, my hair is always on point. My glasses are always dirt. What do you want? So she's like, look, what about them kids that be dancing? He's like, oh, those kids are called the streets. They call themselves the streets. They just drama kids from the drama classes that dance sometimes, but they're not real dancers. I'm like, okay, Sasha. Okay, and you think you a real dancer just because you do ballet? Like, it's other dances. Okay? It's getting snippy with her. Anyway, yeah, so, Aaliyah and Miles, they was recording that really nice studio that those kids have that I don't know if anybody appreciate, because that's an actual studio. You don't have to pay for studio time. I'm like, that's just freaking amazing. You can record anything in there. But they was playing, he started playing his cute song, a little dig deeper. They was singing and stuff. So, he was about to say, Leah, I love you. She was like, I gotta go. Like, she had diarrhea or something. And I was like, she better have diarrhea or something. Or, like, then she just left him hanging for no reason. Like, I know Miles can be iffy sometimes. And I'm like, oh my God, Miles, you're so annoying. But this time he had a reason. So, yeah. Anyway, so then the dance group that Vanessa was talking to, the streets, they was grooving and dooving it and all that, and they was like, what you want, spin girl? So she's like, she's like, we a group of non-dancers, we don't need your dancing. So she's like, well, technically I'm a non-dancer now. So then she's like, I might be able to help you with choreography. They was like, you mean choreography? We not ballerinas. And I'm like, you don't have to be ballerinas to do choreography. Do you not watch YouTube videos? Like, anyway. But yeah, so then she's like, you don't need to be ballerinas. Obviously, you're not. Look at you, you're doing horrible. So then she's like, first she's like, show us something. I was like, what? But she was on her crutches, and at first she couldn't do it. And it's like, ha ha ha, you stupid, get out of my face. But then she did some cool stuff, and it's like, and they started dancing with her and stuff and all that. So she felt really good until Sasha came out yelling V. Like he was her daddy or so, yeah, something like, wait. Why is he yelling at her like that? Like, he just came out there yelling at her, and I'm like, okay, I would beat him just for yelling my name out and then telling her to stop dancing. Like, I know she's probably not supposed to be dancing because she's on her foot, but her foot is in a full-fledged cast. Ain't nothing's breaking that metal casting that's on her freaking foot. Nothing's gonna break it. It's already wrapped up in there. Nothing's gonna break it, so they need to calm down. So he was like, you can't dance, you're gonna hurt yourself even more. And Vanessa was like, no, I need to find another thing. And he was like, look, Maria didn't say take your mind off of dance with dancing. She's like, okay, no, don't tell Maria. She said she was just gonna stick to choreo, and that's gonna be it. So he's like, look, I'll tell her. So then he's like, I'll tell her again. So she's like, please don't tell. So then he was like, okay, I promise not to tell, but just do choreo. So then she ended up getting a text saying, okay, tomorrow we're gonna practice choreo. So yay, that was really happy. So she's like in this little gang, the streets, that's their little group gang, you know what I'm saying? The streets, they like it. They like hanging out together. They're good kids because they like drama kids. So they like from the acting side of the school. So yeah. So Aaliyah was sitting in the grass outside the field. Miles was looking around for her probably for like a good 2 hours because that field is like 20 freaking like it's like 100 feet away from the school, or like even more than that. Like I don't know what she's doing back there. But she was like, you want the truth? So she's like, the cast is 10 years older than me. They cool, but when the show is over, they go and hang out at most likely clubs, and she just got to stay home in her hotel room, and she normally just delete all of Miles' text messages and all of his voicemails because she don't want to remember him, and then she run back to Keaton. So he was like, what? What's wrong with you? So she's like, look, I got this great chance. She don't want to just throw it away. So he's like, look, you can always leave a bad experience. It doesn't make you a bad person. And I'm like, maybe you shouldn't give up a good experience. I mean, she liked the cast, but she just felt lonely when she gets to the hotel. Which I don't know why her parents aren't there. It gets me again. The only people's parents I have ever seen is Julie's. Julie is the only one that has parents, because I can't think of anybody else who else has parents. Because I don't know why. I guess you just want kids her age. I guess I wouldn't. What's it called? I wouldn't like leave. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna FaceTime you. But, you know, I guess she's just so used to having Miles and Jax there. Then she's like, okay, you know, then she like do this and that. So it's like, kind of make her feel left out, you know what I'm saying? You know? But yeah, so then, you know, Miles is like, okay, are you staying or are you leaving? He's not going to tell her that he loves her because it's not his time right now. It's her time. So she's like, she didn't say, give him an answer. So I'm like, I'm just waiting to see. But I know she's probably going to stay. Meanwhile, this was the ending part. Julie paid off this girl to do the test for her. I mean, she paid her in Canadian money. I saw it. It was different colors. And you know what's messed up? She got another black girl that did look like her and then just put her own hat on top of her and give her an ID, and the guy's just going to let her slide through. No, he ain't even going to pay attention. She's like, oh, yep, she black. She can go. Okay, she white. She can go. Okay, she can go there. Okay. Like, he not even paying attention. That's not even the real Julie Maslany. But this is what happened to Brandon. This is not going to work. This is not going to work out. Like, that's not going to work out. Like, why? Why did Maria tell her to do that? She told her to pay. That's why Maria teaching now. Because she broke her freaking leg. And then she started teaching. It's like she making these decisions in her life. Like, she literally put the idea of her paying into somebody's head. Where did Julie even get that freaking money from? How much money does she have? It's just too much. I mean, like, she's not... this is going to come out sooner or later. Like, oh my god. Like, she's going to get in so much trouble. Her parents are going to pull her out. And she's probably not going to be able to go to school. They're probably going to just homeschool her or something. Which isn't a bad idea. But she don't want that. And I'm just like, why would you pay somebody? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, she could have just tried to go to SATs, hurry up and finish it, and then run back. And, you know, and then run back to the dance studio. Instead of having somebody else do it and then risk them not even getting as much as she might have gotten her own. It's just like, it's just too many stuff that's going on. And I wish that, I hope with the kids that are watching this is not how you get out of a situation. You don't just pay somebody to take the test for you. Even if it's like Juilliard or something. Bless you. Even if it's like, bless you. Even if it's like Juilliard or something, like, you don't just do that. You can't do that. Like, no, you can find another way. You can just flunk that freaking test. Flunk it. Flunk it. Just flunk it. Straight up flunk it. And ask for a second run. Because this is not going to be good. Because this is going to be on her record. It's not the SATs. But it's the preliminary SATs. And I don't know. You need 90%. She needed 90% on that. That's almost a 400%. That's going to be on your grades one way or another. So I'm just like, what the heck? Denzel's going to find out. Denzel's going to find out that that's not her in there. He's going to find out. And I don't know if he can keep it a secret. This guard's going to find out. Then who knows who's going to find out after that? Anyway, guys, but I just couldn't take this episode no more. I'm just like, why would you even do this? It's like, I watched Brandon go through this on the Fosters. Brandon, if y'all watch the Fosters on ABC Family, y'all know what I'm talking about. I watched him go through this. And it's just like, he shouldn't have never went through that. But he shouldn't have never done it in the first place. So it's just like sad. And it's like, okay. But thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on this episode of Backstage. And I'll see you guys next time.